Congratulations to AbaNPreach for being the Simps of the Week. How can men lambast a man that was clearly attacked by women with their narcissistic traits and not give a balanced approach for the plumber? Here's why simping ain't easy.
No better if we just let it be. Give the people what they want.
Why can't this man see his son? Is she a baby mama terrorist or a victim? Here's why men are scared to get in relationships with American women.
Men, are you dealing with issues like this? Book a session.
You should have gotten your car, but you didn't. And, okay, but you know what's so funny? I got the video of you. I got the video of
Sir, do you want me to call 911?
Please call 911. No problem.
We'll just call 911. You're on the way. Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah.
It's all right here.
Right.
You want to be a drama queen? You want to try to have all these cameras? That's your fault.
Yeah. You good, brother? Y'all good?
No, I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for
Yeah, guys, y'all just be civil. Be civil.
Thank you. Go get in your car. Go get in your car.
But y'all have joint custody, right?
Yes.
We have the exact same rights.
Right. So it's y'all child.
So you need to go over to your car.
All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel, the monkey...
Pop goes
Okay,
KEISHA.
let's go ahead and bring out our next single guy. Hello, welcome. I'll have you hold this. All right, if we can have your name.
My name's Aaron.
Aaron, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 29.
29, okay,
Yes.
and what do you do?
I'm a licensed plumber.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
And now, what do you look for in a woman?
I look for a woman that's not promiscuous and has a career going for herself.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And now, what are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breaker, being promiscuous, not cleanly, don't have a career, nothing really going for yourself.
Okay. All right. So we did get a pop balloon. Let's go
Okay.
ahead and go on over there and see what's going on.
Yes.
All right. If we can have your name and age and
For me, it just did not work. I didn't feel like I had chemistry or I wasn't fully attracted to you. And I feel like that counts if we were going to be going through a dating show, you know?
Yes, the feeling is definitely mutual. So that's okay. Thank you. You did me a favor.
You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have a great day.
Thank you, Queen. You too.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead. All right. We got to pop over here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm 22.
Okay. And why did we end up popping our balloon?
The comment you made didn't really. I like a more humble person, not someone that responds so defensive-ish. Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah.
I didn't really necessarily like.
That's
how you
fine. Hey,
responded.
I could just,
Yeah.
all I can do is be honest,
I mean,
you know.
yeah, be honest,
I
be your
came
authentic
over
self.
here to,
That's okay.
to find a match
Sure.
that wasn't matching. That's
Sure, I
all,
mean,
Queen.
I 100% understand.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Sure.
And I was, she someone that's your type?
She all right, you know. You're not really my type. I don't mean to be disrespectful,
No disrespect.
you know, but if I see you in public, I wouldn't reach out to.
Totally fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. And we did get a pop balloon over here. Your name and age
Hit
and
that
why you
like
ended
button.
up popping your balloon.
And share
I'm
this
Lex,
stream.
and I'm 23.
if you're not
and
a
I
native
have a
male.
balloon because I feel like you could be a
Why black women like a black woman called Catherine?
All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel, the monkey...
Pop goes
Okay,
KEISHA.
let's go ahead and bring out our next single guy. Hello, welcome. I'll have you hold this. All right, if we can have your name.
My name's Aaron.
Aaron, how old are
Yes,
you?
ma'am. I'm 29.
29, okay,
Yes.
and what do you do?
I'm a licensed plumber.
Oh, Very cool.
Yes.
And now, what do you look for in a woman?
Man, are you dealing with issues like this?
So after the show, me and Esther were having a conversation, and if Esther gave her number to Rhino, the proof is in the pudding right there. The proof is in the pudding. If you gave your number to Rhino, because Rhino's not the person, she gave her number or her Instagram or whatever to Chandler. Now, fellas, peep game right here. One thing is you never address another man about a woman's conduct. If this is your woman, even though she's not my woman, you know, I did what I call a temperature check. I want to know what type of time is we really on before I start investing my heart, mind, body, and soul into you. Because when I find a woman, that's my problem. I'm a Cancer. I go into the situation thinking, you know, this is going to be the last one. I'm going to make this work. You know, I'm manifesting perseverance, trying to get it to work. But they always have a wandering eye, so they miss out. So after this, about who I allow into my life, because women do happen to like these big muscles, though. These big turtle muscles, though. Oh, wait. But yeah, anyway, you know, turtles got the hardest shell. So I appreciate, you know, all the love, all the hatred. But Chandler came up to her, and he handed her his phone. Boom. He handed her the phone just like this. So I turn to look at her. Like I just said, you don't address another man. I turn to look at her. I said, that's what you doing, baby? She said, yeah. Oh, what? I turned around. You're disqualified immediately because you don't know what the prize looked like. Your eyes still wandering. Baby, I found my match. You know, we about to have a ball.
Congratulations to AbaNPreach for being the Simps of the Week. How can men lambast a man that was clearly attacked by women with their narcissistic traits and not give a balanced approach for the plumber? Here's why simping ain't easy.
Your incarceration rate is down. The education rate is up. We up. We went from a group of men who were brought to this country in the hulls of slave ships. I know we got the pretendians out there. They're saying that we still here, but the DNA test says otherwise, just like your baby mama. So, for my brothers who know their history and know where we came from, and know what we've been through for hundreds of years, the fact that over 60% of black men have now reached the middle class. Your seed is the most important thing that you produce in this world. It's not the art that you produce, it's not the buildings that you create, it's not the amount of money you make, it's not the amount of people who like you. It is your legacy.
But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
Salute the black men.
Started with mama issues, afraid to question anything, that was that bitch in you. Grown-ass men, we letting this shit continue. Adolescent feminine ways, why men offend you. Mama boy, she love thugs, her secret lover. That's why she keep these niggas inside the covers. Put the nigga aside, homie, I'm your brother. Close father saving us, having the same mother. Iron sharpens iron, we learning from one another. No jealousy or envy, going through life struggles. You told your mama you was outside, wanted to hang. Now you wearing colors and just joined the gang. No money, so the OGs taught you how to slang. Jackets rolled up and all you heard was bang. On the side of the curb, leaking out your brains. Quiet when the same, single mamas once again. Black men, we gotta change. Salute the black men. We number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser, cause we deserve the best of. Coming home from work, and life issues. I just want a meal, end up with fights with you. You just need to chill, remember I'm right with you. So fucking masculine, swinging and I ain't hit you. What's your fucking issue? You don't love me, you love what I can get you. Don't let the kids you love be in the bitch you. 911 police saying I hit you. I got video footage, you lying bitch you. Why you think we locked up ops is with you? Making love to the enemy out to get you. That big ass and a smile might convince you. Graveyards that's filled, we on the menu. Penitentiaries packed, men continue to be the simps, and she provided the venue. No respect, so black men we've been through. Nigga,
Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
The black men, we number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser, cause we deserve the best. I salute the black men. We number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black.
Fire for your mind. Culture clinician.
If it ain't seven, it ain't culture. Heaven and hell, that's what they told you. Real men put the strap down and we can toss them. Young heads picking back up and young dolphins. This is our culture. Now we talking kosher. Clinician, masculinity issues, absent fathers who miss you, mama drama don't kiss you, all a part of the ritual, this is how they get you, separate the men, women clipping babies pretend to, damn, lovers, haters acting like vultures, if it ain't seven, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us, if it ain't seven, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us, if it ain't seven, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. Listen.
We're going to get deep into it, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We're going to get deep into it. We ain't going to waste a lot of time, guys. But this show going to be very important, guys, for a myriad of reasons. It's going to be important for a myriad of reasons because what it's going to personify is this. Why do women call black men sassy? And we know why they call them sassy. They call them sassy for a myriad of reasons. But one of the reasons black men are called sassy, guys, if y'all can hear me, hit one. One of the reasons black men are called sassy is that they don't want you to have a voice or have a consciousness outside of them. They want to be the sole arbitrators to the conversation and the relationship. And when a woman says you're sassy, it's just a form of the gynocracy trying to silence you and make you bow to their whims and bow to what they're saying and doing. AbaNPreach, in my opinion, lambasted this man. And because of that, AbaNPreach are the simps of the week. But we're going to get deep into it. We're going to review that video. We're going to review the video about AbaNPreach. We're going to review the video about the Tip Network. And so we're not going to waste a lot of time on this one. We're going to hop right into it. And guys, here we go.
Congratulations to AbaNPreach for being the Simps of the Week. How can men lambast a man that was clearly attacked by women with their narcissistic traits and not give a balanced approach for the plumber? Here's why simping ain't easy.
All right, guys, we're going to get deep into it, guys. I think what I'll do, the plumber is actually on MTR's show right now, and we're going to cover that. shout out to my dear friend Gail at Night. We're gonna cover that briefly, and we're gonna see what they're talking about, and we'll stop it intermittently. And he's on MTR's show right now, so we're gonna play that, and then we're gonna go over the video of where AbaNPreach actually justified what they believed in, and we think that's sadly it's unfortunate, but where they justified disrespecting this man. So let's do it.
Reachable. There's a link to it. Shout out to the moderators as well. They're putting the links up in the chat as well. School.com/MTArmy. Guys, we're having our first meeting on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. Get in right now. It's free to sign up. Get in right now before there's a price established with this. Get in right now. Sign up. We're going to be doing group conversations, but here's where you're going for brotherhood. Here's where you're going for continued education of how to conduct yourself as a man. Even as I talk with Aaron backstage and the things that ship capability. There's all that.
So this is a young man, Aaron, guys. But before we get back into that, I'm gonna go over Tip Network also. We're gonna flip back and forth. And Tip Network did a great job talking about this young man, but also why KEISHA calls grown men sassy. KEISHA calls grown men sassy because KEISHA don't want grown men to have a voice. And we're gonna look at that on the back end. But also, we're going to look at the AbaNPreach fiasco, too. So hold tight.
Back there. We're going to be focusing on 4 pillars: financial fitness, health and wellness, enhancing your masculinity, and finding your purpose in life. School.com/MTArmy. And since then, and we're going to get into it. Guys, let's get started.
Reach out to me. So that was a blessing in disguise as well. Thank y'all.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I think that it's very needed. And I said it multiple times within the video that I wanted to have a conversation with you to ensure that we can continue on building. And
guys, I'm gonna go back and forth between MTR's show, but also what Tip Network said regarding this. I'm gonna pull that up, and we're gonna explore why this man was called sassy, and why masculine black men are called sassy, and why masculine black men got a band together to reduce some of the things that are going on. Hold tight. All right, so we're going to play this by Tip Network. Shout out to Tip Network. And then we'll get back to the other part in a minute. And we'll go from there. Hold on.
No. Let's go over here. I saw you hesitate. That's why I had to ask. So if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Kayla. I'm 23. Originally, I was not going to pop my balloon because I know a lot of them popped it because he was being, I guess, arrogant. But to me, I like my man that's not going to sit in every girl's face and they know that what was going on.
And see, anytime confident black men stand firm in their masculinity and what they believe in, they're called arrogant, they're called sassy, they're called messy, they're called a bevy of things. And this is part of it.
I'm very I don't want to say I'm argumentative, but I don't want my man to argue back with me because then I feel like it's going to always be a problem. That was the only reason why I popped my balloon.
I don't like to be told
deal with it and fix it.
I don't like to be told that I'm wrong. I don't like to be told when I'm wrong.
That's established.
So I get agitated when I find out that I'm wrong about something. Okay, I get agitated, and that's why I guess I get defensive because I just want to do what I want to do.
And why did you end up popping our balloon?
The comment you made, didn't really. I like a more humble person, not someone that responds so defensive-ish. Yeah, that's really it. I didn't really necessarily like.
That's fine. Hey, I could just all I can do is be honest.
I mean, be honest. Be your authentic self. That's okay.
To find a match.
Sure.
That wasn't matching.
So once again, sassy black men are black men that speak up, speak loud, speak proud, speak bold, and don't back down. They call black men to speak up loud, proud, and bold, sassy. And that's why this man was called sassy, because the world we live in now, guys, you're sassy if you don't go with the gynecologist order. Masculine men are sassy if they don't go with the gynecologist order and more or less go by what they expect you to do. Shout out to my man, the Real Bavard, through the Fire Network. He said, thank you for connecting me with Obsidian. It's already bringing fruit. The next one is a deal. Can't wait to announce that. Thanks. Again, no doubt, man. I appreciate it through the fire. And I look forward to doing the show with you at some point soon, too, brother. Let's do that show as well. And I appreciate it. But that's why he's called sassy, because anytime you assert yourself as a man, Sadly, it's Sassy.
And that's all, Queen.
100%.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. For me, it just did not work. I didn't feel like I had chemistry. I wasn't fully attracted to you, and I feel like that counts if we were going to be going through a dating show, you know?
Yes, the feeling is definitely mutual. So that's okay. Thank you. You did me a favor. Excuse me, Queen. I'm talking to this woman right here. Well, I can look anyway. I can look anyway I want to. You know? But yeah, can y'all give her balloon back, though?
She don't want it.
Yeah, do you want your balloon back, Queen? We're not talking to you, sweetheart.
Okay.
You already been, I already let you know. I'm not interested in. You got more hair on your arms than me, baby.
Before the guy comes out, I wanted you guys to see the lineup of women. I want you to see the clothes that they're wearing. I want you to see the styles of their hair. I want you to see what they're doing with their eyelashes. I want you to see how many tattoos that they have. I see she's got some kneecap tattoos. Who's showing cleavage versus who is not. And the reason that I'm pointing this out is that the importance of image. We all as human beings judge books by their cover.
Image is everything. But see, KEISHA can be anything she want to be and still shame men. And see, the world now, guys, has a lot of young women that think that they're better. This man is a stellar man. This young man had a past like we all got a past. But this young man is a stellar young man now. But it's never enough. And that's why, guys, you never minimize what your worth is as a man.
Because not only is this guy getting drugged through the mud for what is being described as sassy behavior, for sticking up for and defending himself, but then also he was fired from his job, absolutely nasty work.
All he did was stand up for himself, fellas. And he was attacked. Not only was he attacked online, but these folks, these unlovely ladies, somebody type unlovely ladies.
Introducing Iron Beam, a bright choice for futures trading. Iron Beam is an industry-leading broker catering to traders worldwide with 24-hour live support.
Tracked him down and got him fired from his job as a plumber. That's what they did.
I just want to give y'all a quick update, man. I don't appreciate anybody thinking this is a hoax. You know, today is one of the worst days of my life. Seriously, being a plumber and getting my license was one of my biggest life.
Listen to what he said. Being a plumber and getting my license was my biggest day. But see, when you got a woman that has a Jezebel spirit, she has a spirit of control. She thinks she's better than you. She got narcissistic traits. Consistent with this young man, the same thing happened to me. They would try to shame you and throw you in the trash can and make you lose your livelihood because that's the typical modern woman.
Accomplishments, especially with the lifestyle that I used to indulge in. You know, with that being stripped away from me, I still have responsibilities to take care of. And I certainly can, and I am going to take care of them.
Greetings, you polite savages. Ladies and gentlemen and polite savages, we are about to embark on a journey that is sure to infuriate modern women listening to this video. Sometimes the medicine is bitter, but you must shut up and swallow it. The only thing that we can promise is to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. Are you ready? Here we go. Most diabolical thing that you can do to a person is cancel them because you don't like what they said in a non-professional setting. As in the case of this plumber. He went on a show, gave the ladies a little back and forth, only gave what he was given. He was very respectable, called each of them ma'am and queen, but since they didn't like how he delivered the tone of his voice, they decided to gang up on him, and 500 people called his job and assured that he lost his job as a licensed plumber. Now these are the same women that will go and complain about DJ Vlad doing the exact same thing over a tweet to a Princeton professor. You see, cancellation only works when the company that you work for or the company that the before mentioned worked for was so weak that they couldn't see through.
And yes, cancellation only works for me, but it doesn't apply to D. And sadly, that's the mantra of modern women in modern times, to lambast and shame black men that have standards and won't back down. But see, the gynocracy will attack you because, see, no other culture calls a man sassy. You can't find another culture that calls a man sassy.
This BS. But this is just an evil, evil game that these women played on this man because he did not want them. And he let them know one by one, you're doing me a favor by telling me that you don't want me. So it couldn't be just mutual separation. No. You see, these ladies, they have to get one up on him. Because how dare this man of such low stature, a lowly plumber, just someone who just should be happy to be in the same room as them, have the nerve to turn them down and give them a little attitude with it, which they wanted to call sassy. Straight out the modern woman playbook. Ad hoc attacks, anyone?
When he is smart, invests into his future, is handsome, tall, a family man, supportive, lives on his own, smells amazing, keeps his word, buys flowers, has a passport, doesn't ask you what you're doing all day instead of be ready by 7 p.m., randomly checks in on you, pays for your nails and hair, and throws in the tip for Ling Ling, got a big bag of coin, and spends it on you.
These women want it all. The straight six is 6 feet, 6 inches, 6-figure, six-pack abs, while at the same time having you in.
Are you driving way less than you used to? Do you have a clean driving record? Are you over 25? Do you not have a DUI? Then you're likely paying too much for car insurance, and you can drop it to as low as $38 per month. I wish that I had done this sooner. I saved over $600 off my yearly car insurance rate. How? It's super easy. All you need to do is go to EverQuote.
Or the disrespect, emasculating you to do her every woman bidding, bringing chaos to your life, but give enough pushback not to be a pushover, because she needs some excitement in her life to get her to go down on you and spread it open once a week when she's in the mood for sex. And I think I'm even being generous with that.
DJ Vlad criticized for an argument with college professor. So we got into it with a Princeton professor after she asked him not to speak on the Drake and Kendrick beat. He responded to her and said, wait, so a professor at Princeton is telling me that a white person shouldn't be allowed to voice their opinion about hip hop? Is that how you interact with your students? She came back and said, what I'm saying is that you put your opinion in a discussion that's not needed. This conversation is and should censor black people, not you. Vlad said, don't try to change your words now. I'll be reaching out to Princeton about this on Monday.
Exhibit B, the obvious disrespect to the working class man in this country is at its zenith. It is spearheaded by the disrespect for the modern woman because, of course, they don't want to wait for a 9-to-5 paycheck when they're young and beautiful. But trust me and believe me, when they are 35 and up, that 9-to-5 man with that strong pension and that good weekly paycheck looks very good. But of course, by that time, that man has probably moved on. And like this brother said, a lot of them just weren't qualified for him anyway. But let's just keep it a buck. He was a little shorter and maybe not the way that they wanted him to look. But in about 10 years, they're going to wish a man like that would come for them.
You see, that's my mom.
And what they do, guys, many times they sabotage the potential men that they get, because many are narcissistic, have narcissistic traits, and they minimize the average guy, and they create the same drama, create the chaos that they complain about. And that's why, we got the turmoil that we have now in this society, guys, because there's no balance anymore. The average woman wants top tier to superior men, but they don't offer anything of value to the conversation.
He's 5'3", I got 6'5". I'm 5'8". Yeah, I need you to be 6 feet or taller. That's
now look at this woman, guys. Look at this delusional woman. Look like a Oompa Loompa. But she said, I need you to be 6'3" or taller. Look at this woman. Not attractive at all. But she needs a man to be 6 feet and taller.
It's a requirement, and if you don't like it, then don't apply. Bye-bye.
I mean, ain't you too much of a big girl to be asking that? Like, drop 80 pounds first before you start making demands, since weight is something you ladies can control.
She said, I'm obsessed with tall guys, and I agree. That's right, I'm looking up at my guys.
A girl who's like 5'7", 5'8", we get so infatuated with a guy that's taller than us, that's like 6 feet, because it's like, oh, you tall, Danny, I like that.
Height for a woman is like a fit woman to a man. Dr. Rob Henderson here provides what I believe a peer-reviewed study showing that around average height 5'10" like myself needs to earn an additional $24,000 on a base income of $62,500 to a total of almost $87,000 to be desirable as a 6-foot man. The plumber looks like a guy on the shorter side, so let's assume he's 5'6". He needs to earn $237,500 a year to be equal to a 6-foot man, while a 6'2" man can earn $30,000 less than a 6-foot man. And I think that's the real issue, why these ladies were disrespecting the dude.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer.
Evan, how old are you?
25.
25, okay, what do you do?
So I'm a pro basketball player. And, I'm a pro basketball player.
And Sierra, why did you end up popping your balloon?
For age. It's nothing wrong with your outfit. It's just not given for me.
It was just the age.
It was the age. It's the age.
Ah, you're 25. What was the age? And you got your taco meat out.
It's a ball chest right here.
I just popped because of the age. I felt maybe you're a little too young for me.
These women don't know what they want. They're so quick to clown a man when he is the epitome of everything that they talk about anyway.
It's good to date a pro athlete so that when you're ready to get married, you can say you dated a pro athlete and you can get a higher caliber man that's going to be home every night and has a steady job, paycheck, or owns.
So once again, guys, never enough. It's always a cycle of disrespect and a cycle of disrespect. Always a cycle of disrespect. And once again, guys, it's never enough.
His own business and not going to be cut next year. Y'all got to downsize and move by 30, 39, 40. He's broke. I would rather date that as a status thing and then go get somebody with steady income that's going to be coming in long term with that 401k and all that kind of stuff.
If you think that's absurd, well, like I told you, women want it all. Oh, and you thought NBA players were safe. Let's ignore all the examples of how professional athletes have been fleeced. Even after being an NBA player with money and status, these women will always want a plan B, plan C, basically a long list of planned deposits to ensure they can pivot their way to a retirement plan and pension. This is fine.
And that's what a lot want. A lot want a man that can give them a retirement plan. And once again, guys, that's taxation without representation. That's wholly taxation without representation. And that's a problem, in my opinion, because it should never be that way. Relationships should be mutually beneficial. It should be mutually beneficial.
5D hypergamy chess being played. Alpha seed, beta need.
I'm looking for a man in finance. A son. 6'5", blue eyes. I'm looking for a man in finance. A son. 6'5", blue eyes.
They know I'm the ICTIRL. You know I am that girl.
I'm looking for a man in finance. Trust fund. 6'5", blue eyes.
But back to the disrespect of the 9-to-5 working class gentleman that is so prevalent in today's society. We've seen countless of TikToks saying, hey, I would prefer a scammer or a drug dealer over.
And guys, what you see in that is gross narcissism. That's why the average man can't have a solid relationship. That's why you can't take some of these women serious when they say they can't find a man, because they can find a man. But many of them have very high expectations, and they don't offer anything in return. They don't offer anything in return. And many times it's problematic for the average guy just looking for a good woman. It's highly problematic for the average guy that's looking for a good woman. Highly problematic. Hold tight.
A guy who's working 9 to 5 because a drug dealer was going to treat me better. He's going to buy me things instantly. He's going to spoil me because he's going to have that disposable income. A lot of ladies even said they would prefer an entrepreneur over a 9 to 5 guy. But then when you ask them why, they say because an entrepreneur can get up and go here and go there because he doesn't have a boss. Well, with most of these foolish ladies who's never really held a real job in their life or held a business, even though they're all business owners, but that just means that they're a lash or nail tech somewhere, renting a booth from a mama-san who doesn't respect them. Anybody who owns a business knows this. You cannot get up and go anywhere. Because when you own a business, you are working for everyone. You're working for your people who work for you. You're working for your clients, and you're working for your family. You are the ultimate servant when you are the owner. But a lot of these ladies will never understand that because they've never owned.
The Ninja Thirsty Drink System is like having a drink aisle on your countertop. Choose from over 25 flavors, or combine any two and create thousands of drink options at the touch of a button.
Hold anything. You dig?
Prefer a scammer, drug dealer, or a 9 to 5 guy?
I like it. You know, like sometimes, you know, like the scammers, they come up, like they'll give you gifts and shit.
Now look at what she said. She'll rather have a scammer than a guy that works a 9 to 5. Make that make sense. She'll rather have a scammer than a guy that works a 9 to 5. She'll rather have a scammer than a guy that works a 9 to 5. But this is what happens, guys, in modern women in modern America, sadly.
Yeah,
I don't know. Please let us know.
They don't
I
probably
don't
swipe something and got you something.
You weren't scared to get caught and be associated with him if he get caught?
Like, if I'm not in trouble, I might bail you out. It's fine.
Okay. You going to jail for him? Oh my God. You said what?
Maybe.
She said, yeah. I love him.
I would say many folks don't use a plumber on a daily basis. They don't really know how much plumbers tend to make. Plumbers are making like $60 to $70 an hour. Most plumbers I know are making $75,000 plus. I come from blue collar folks, factory workers, tradespeople. I am a staunch advocate for men who work with their hands and do the quote unquote dirty jobs. I think they deserve the most respect. We have to get back to where we value blue collar labor. I'm a big.
And Kevin was right. My dad was blue collar. I was blue collar before I came white collar. But guys, once again, that's what happens when you have excessive narcissism, excessive narcissistic traits, excessive self-aggrandizement. And that's why the issues are so problematic in our society.
Component of blue collar. I call them blue Henrys. Henry is high earner, not rich yet. Let me let you in on a secret. It is far easier to become a Blake Henry blue collar than white collar. Hello. If you are a white collar man, in order to make big money, you're going to have to go work in someone's corporation. Whereas a blue collar man can be an entrepreneur. Word of the day, enterprising.
In closing, hell has no scorn like a woman's fury. In a modern woman, today's modern woman will stop at nothing to make sure that her ego and her narcissistic tendency to indulge herself and never be wrong, regardless of what, is satisfied. And let's also keep it a buck and keep it honest with us. If this was a white-collar gentleman, perhaps taller, more polished, a little smoother with his conversation like men have been there before, telling him that I am the prize and you do not qualify for me, and that if you knew, like I knew, you would understand that me, personally, because you desire me in the prize. None of these ladies would have tried to get this man canceled.
Right. This man lost his job because he was a black man that dared to say to the gynocratic order and the Jezebel spirit that I got standards and you don't qualify, and they're not used to it. And that's why I tell these young men, especially you single men, you single young men, to know what your worth is, don't compromise them, and don't waver in your conviction. Because you're sassy if you have standards in America, guys, sadly.
Would either go and make a fuss. There wouldn't be all of these women on social media going back and forth saying that this man got exactly what he deserved. And of course, the legion of simps out there, they are the worst. A matter of fact, you beta orbiters, you get no quarter. You actually deserve to have to walk 1,000 miles through the desert without shoes on, in a blazing heat without sunblock. Because to be honest, to see you co-sign another man's job getting taken away from him is just a new low, an all-time low, the bottom of the barrel.
I totally agree. We're going to get into that in a minute. I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Sir, if you are in this camp, that makes you a yellow belly salamander. the scum at the bottom of the shoe. In other words, you are nothing.
When did y'all start hating black men so much? Like, when did that become a thing? I mean, all we hear all the time, all day long, is how much we can't stand black men. They're the worst things on earth. They're the worst fathers. They're the worst providers. They don't protect us. They don't love us. They don't care for us. They don't do this. It's like, enough is enough. Because half the stuff that's being said is not even truthful. It's not even truthful. The one that gets me the most is how women say that black men, they all got kids. All of them got a bunch of kids. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because in the United States of America, black men, not even half have children. Less than half have children. So when we talk about that, that's a lie. They also say that black men are the worst fathers. That's a lie as well. We saw the stats. It came out and said that black fathers are the most involved fathers out of all race. The most involved fathers. So we're like, that's a lie, right? Another big misconception about us black men not protecting women, especially black women. You know how many black men are in prison right now for protecting a woman? A black woman at that, who probably...
Right. How many black men are in prison for protecting a woman? And that's why I was disappointed in these brothers. And sadly, these brothers are the simps of the week. They're the simps of the week. Guys, do me a favor, share the stream. Donate to the channel, please. We're going to get deeper into it. And sadly, these brothers are the simps of the week because they are spam. And spam is simps pandering against men.
Congratulations to AbaNPreach for being the Simps of the Week. How can men lambast a man that was clearly attacked by women with their narcissistic traits and not give a balanced approach for the plumber? Here's why simping ain't easy.
And I think I don't have any issues with AbaNPreach. I don't really watch them, but that was a bad look in my opinion. And I think a lot of other brothers would agree. I think that's where Tip Network was probably going at. I don't have nothing against them, but how can you lambast one man? You can lambast this young man that's a plumber, but can't see the error of your way as it relates to these modern women. But hold on.
This man is up to no good.
And God, this is typically the level of the day where black men lambast other men and minimize other men without adding clarity and context of why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, and what do you do?
I'm a licensed plumber.
Okay, very cool.
Yes.
And now, what do you look for in a woman?
I look for a woman that's not promiscuous and has a career going for herself.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And now, what are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breaker, being promiscuous.
I'm looking. What are you looking for in somebody? Someone who's attractive and not a criminal. What's a deal breaker? Someone who's ugly and who's a criminal.
But I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, it's just funny. That's just those two back to back.
Not cleanly. Don't have a career. Nothing really going for yourself.
Okay. All right. So we did get a pop balloon. Let's go ahead and go on over there and see what's going on.
Yes.
All right, if we can have your name and age and why you popped your balloon.
They popped the balloon basically to say they're not interested.
Popping the balloon, Harper. Got you. For me, it just did not work. I didn't feel like I had chemistry or wasn't fully attracted to you. And I feel like that counts if we are going to be going through a dating show, you know?
Yes, the feeling is definitely mutual. So that's okay.
That's okay.
And so once again, when black men have standards, it's a problem. When black men have standards, it's a problem. But also it's seen in the form of minimization. But the women will give him the same energy, but when he matched it, these guys laugh at him. And that's why I called them spams, simps pandering against men, because I don't think the fire or the response was justified.
I mean, he didn't say anything either. Let him play. Let him.
No, there's a nuance. If I say the feeling is mutual, the feeling is mutual. The feeling is definitely mutual. You're trying to get back at someone.
I think you're reading too hard.
No, I'm not.
All right, let's find out.
So,
well, let's say if he was trying to get back at someone, I say, what's your point? These women were disrespectful to that man. That young man held his ground. And when you hold your ground in modern America, they don't like it. They don't like it when you hold your ground. So, I say, what's the difference?
That's okay. Thank you. You did me a favor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have a great day.
Thank you, Queen.
No, Definitely, it could have been. The feeling is mutual. Hey, the feeling is mutual. No hard feelings. We good, and then we move on. There's a nuance. No, am I wrong?
Let's just watch.
I'm glad you have a great.
And see, guys, that's why I hate Simp so much, because not one time do these guys lambaste these women and their energy and their disrespect, and maybe it's their perception, but these women were clearly disrespectful to this young man. They were clearly disrespectful.
Thank you, Queen. You too.
Okay, well, let's go ahead. All right, we got to pop over here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Hi, my name is Tara. I'm 22.
Okay, and why did we end up popping our balloon?
The comment you made, didn't really. I like a more humble person. That's the one that responds so defensive-ish.
And to the point, AbaNPreach never justified or said this man should have never got fired. But it was okay to denigrate this young man. But AbaNPreach never said this young man should have never got fired. They never said that. They never said these women were wicked for firing this man, more or less. But they focused more on his behavior than being balanced in their approach, focus on the behaviors of both. If you're going to critique somebody, give a fair critique, because these women were out of line disrespecting that man. That's why the one they had on the blue dress said he was being sassy. And anytime damn black men speak up, it's called sassy.
Yeah, that's really it.
Hey,
I didn't really necessarily like how
that's
you
fine.
responded.
Hey, I could just, all I can do is be honest.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, be honest, be your
I came
authentic
over here
self. That's okay.
To find a match
Sure.
that wasn't matching. That's
Sure, I
all,
mean,
Queen.
I 100% understand.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Sure.
And now is she someone that's your type?
She all right. You know, you're not really my type. I don't mean to be disrespectful.
No,
you know,
disrespecting.
but if I seen you in public, I wouldn't.
You don't have to go all that. Like, you do it a bit too much. You could have said, not necessarily. Is the extra stuff.
All right, listen. People said this. I'm waiting for it to get flagrant. Listen.
All right. And we did get a pop balloon over here. Your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
I'm Lex, and I'm 23, and I popped my balloon because I feel like you could be a tad bit disrespectful, like how you, like, I don't know, arrogant a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, just that.
Well, voicing my opinion is not arrogant. You know, she asked me if she would be a good fit for me, and if I like what I see, you know, it's contrary to the truth. So
Of course.
that's all I can do is just state what I see. That's not a good look for me. That's all, Queen. But thank you. You did me a favor as well.
Yeah.
No. Oh, dog.
And once again, guys, I thought the young man was though they were disrespecting him, he still called them queen. They were very disrespectful to him, but the young man still called them queen. But see, when you don't kiss the ring to the model woman, guys, it's a problem. It's a problem when you don't kiss the ring to the modern woman. It's a problem when you don't kiss the ring to the modern woman. Shout out to my man Top Gun. He said that at the Coach Connect, it's true that you are listed as a participant in P. Diddy's freak also. No, brother, not me, brother. I'll leave that to you. Shout out to my man P. Diddy. He's a 95 of women would choose a shorter guy, a shorter good guy. 95% of women choose a shorter, good-looking guy over a guy just because he's tall. Thankfully, I'm tall and good-looking, but that combo is not common among taller men. No doubt, brother. And shout out to my man Gregory Scott. He said, "High culture, there are more Black Americans started to question non-American Blacks consistently commenting and downing those of us in the U.S., in the United States, but worth watching going forward." So there are more Black Americans starting to question non-American Blacks consistently commenting and downing those of us in the United States. Okay, no doubt. I appreciate that, Gregory. And Gregory and my brother, my other brother are the number one sponsors. But hold tight, because I think AbaNPreach were wrong for this, and they got this the spam of the week, Simps pandering against men.
Congratulations to AbaNPreach for being the Simps of the Week. How can men lambaste a man that was clearly attacked by women with their narcissistic traits and not give a balanced approach for the plumber? Here's why simping ain't easy.
He's looking them up and down. Like, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. And you know what? You know what? It makes me think of church. It makes me think of church.
What do you mean?
Where they say something super shady, but they end it with like a nice word.
Bless yourself.
Yes.
Bless your heart.
Yes.
Ooh. Bless your heart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like. Yes, queen. I'm glad we're not together. Yes, queen.
It's respectful disrespect.
I think it's just disrespect, but okay.
No, it is. It is. No, it is. The end result is disrespect.
It's a pile of doo-doo
covered in gold
in a Hallmark card.
Still a pile of doo-doo.
Exactly.
I'll pray for you, ABBA.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What I have to say is, it's not what you say. This is what I mean by what I said. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yes. But look at her energy, guys. It's not what you say, but how you say it. But did that constitute this man losing his job? One will argue no.
Rephrase a lot of the things that you have been saying to me as well as the other girls differently. But that's all I have to say.
But one thing about me is I'm not going to change who I am
Of course.
to fit somebody else's liking. You know, I'm just going to tell it how it is. If you're not it, that's not it. You know,
Cool.
the one that is it, I'm going to let it be known.
Okay.
You know, for surely, yes.
Respectful. Your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Brianna, 26. My eyes are up here, baby. Are you looking at the tattoo?
No, I'm looking at the hair on your arm.
And you know, she was trying to objectify him, trying to make it seem like he was objectifying her. And this woman has a child, and she got long tees. She was trying to objectify him. And she got long tees, guys. Because she was trying to make it seem like this man was objectifying her. But see, they call you sassy when, once again, sassy to the black woman is how dare you talk back to me? How dare you question me? Because this woman kept saying, don't do it, don't do it. She was basically daring him not to speak out as a man. So they'll call you sassy. They'll call you sassy when you got a voice and when you stand firm as a masculine man.
Arms, you know.
Flag on the plate. Where did that come from? That is going crazy.
Flag on the plate.
That is going crazy.
If I was already...
I need my helmet again. Oh my God. This is going to be a bumpy ride. This shit crazy.
Oh my God.
That was unnecessary.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned as we attempt to commune with the devil.
My man.
Oh my God.
My man woke up, went back to sleep, and woke up again.
Oh my God.
Only to choose violence.
If I was like, yo, this dude is a bit on something, when he's like, yeah, whatever, you definitely did me a favor. It's definitely mutual. And then he pulls this. Now I'm just looking at the hairs on your arm. Wow.
First degree murder. Let's go.
Women I deal with, they don't have hair on their
Don't
arms.
do too much.
Hey, I'm just being honest,
Don't do too
Queen.
much.
You know, I don't like that. That's all I was looking at. You trying to say if I'm looking at particular body
You just
parts,
wasn't
but
looking at
that's
my
not what it
eyes.
is.
That's
No, I was
all
looking at the hair on your arms,
Anyways,
Queen.
she asked me the question.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in heels and you ain't tall enough.
Okay.
Don't do too much.
Well,
though.
you're not qualified, baby.
All right,
So that's
cool.
all good.
Good Lord, get this man off the stage.
Yo, it's getting saltier and saltier by the minute.
Yeah.
This guy is a bag of pretzel, dry and salty.
All right, let's get through this shit.
Okay. So we do still have 3
Nah, you know what? These women are all else. I'm gonna say this. If you just watch a dude who showed up for 5 seconds get disrespectful and belligerent with women off of so little, imagine what it's gonna be like dating that dude. And then you go say like, oh my God, I never saw it coming. No, bitch. You saw it coming, you just didn't care because you thought he was cute. And some of you motherfuckers think you can change somebody. That's why I don't be feeling bad for some people, because all the red flags are there that the people they about today is a piece of shit, but they ignore it. Same with dudes. You see a really hot girl with a poppin' Instagram and all this other shit going on, they be like, oh man, she gonna be the one for me. Turn out she's just there for your cheddar. It's like, bro, y'all gotta take some accountability. 3 women kept that. This dude was unnecessary. I didn't think the women said anything crazy. The dude cussed out. And I'm like, at first I was like, okay, one up. This dude did with every girl. How do you think he's gonna react to you when things don't go well in your relationship and the camera's not there and you guys are alone? That's the real lesson in all this. The real L isn't even him. It's the 3 women who didn't pop their balloons.
And I got a problem with that. The real is the 3 women, but you have no critique for the women that disrespected this young man, though. That's a problem. How many of you guys feel like it's a problem that they didn't show the same level of animus for the folks that disrespected them? And shout out to my man, Mr. Cash Out. Shout out to my man, Mr. Cash Out, for that $5 super chat. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir. Shout out to Mr. Cash Out. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your kindness for that $5 super chat. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
But anyways, let's keep watching.
But she looking like you gonna pop? Okay. Okay.
The two women. My bad. Girl in pink. Shout out to you. You walked away from the ledge. Girl in blue looked like she's thinking about it. The girl in the black thinks she might go all the way. She's not even holding the pin. She like what she see.
All right. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Jacqueline. I'm 25. I popped because.
And I agree, brother KP from KC5. They are slaves to the audience. I agree with that 100% because you can't lambast one and not give a fair analysis of all.
I have hair on my arms.
My girl is lying. Hey, let's go.
Hey, just because you got hair on your arms, that's okay though, Queen. You look phenomenal.
So much. No, that just proves that he wasn't actually mad about the hair on the arms. He was just salty because the girl gave him the tag. The girl's like, "Why you looking at my titties?" And he's like, "Oh, let me just roast her."
Yo, this guy is wow.
You know, she ain't fit to my liking. She ain't even fit to. Hey, excuse me, Queen.
And yes, they are pathetic. They are pathetic. And guys, I think this is the part of the show where we need to go to the Simper Bowl. Shout out to my man Top Gun. This is the part of the show we need to go back to the Simper Bowl. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, scaring the scene with her long titties. Ooh.
Channel, I look at who's in there making comments, right? And what I would almost say to you, brother, is just in terms of a thought, is I think there's a reason why men resonate with your message more than women, because I don't really hear the kind of intelligent, constructive advice that I think you're capable of when I see your commentary. I see a lot of stuff that could come off as woman bashing, right? Like that, just the little video I
Yeah. Anytime men stand firm is a problem, and that's why I said, guys, they are the simps of the week because that was uncalled for. Simps pander against men, and it goes to AbaNPreach for being the simps of the.
Congratulations to AbaNPreach for being the Simps of the Week. How can men lambast a man that was clearly attacked by women with their narcissistic traits and not give a balanced approach for the plumber? Here's why simping ain't easy.
You're right, simping ain't easy when you're a slave to the audience and you won't give a balanced approach. I don't mind you critiquing the young man, but you think this man supposed to allow women to disrespect him, he not say anything, and he just sit back and not do nothing. How's that a balanced approach? That's not a balanced approach. But this man's supposed to allow women to disrespect him and he not do anything. That's not a balanced approach. And right, Revelator, the spirit of variance, another simp. Yeah, I totally agree. The sins of Simptamus has brought him to his demise. Simp ain't easy, man. You're right. They have a slave mentality. I totally agree, brother. And right, Ongo Savage, very disappointed these two. You're going to lambast and try to make it shoot. But see, men sometimes are the reason why these women are so bad and out of control. It's not necessarily the women, it's the men. And AbaNPreach showed up strong and bold in that high level of sympatry. Because this is high level sympatry, sadly. This is high level sympatry.
I'm talking to this woman right here. Well, I could look anyway. I could look anyway I want to. You know? But yeah, can y'all give her balloon back though?
She don't want it.
Yeah, do you want your balloon back, Queen? We're not talking to you, sweetheart.
Okay.
You already I already let you know. I'm not interested in. You got more hair on your arms than me, baby. But anyways.
Okay, so he's saying get your balloon back, but how you feeling him?
I'm not gonna give my balloon back.
Okay.
What was his reaction? Okay. All right,
Yo.
So we do still have 2 balloons.
Yes.
Do we still have 2 balloons? No. Let's go over here. I saw you hesitate. That's why I had to ask. So if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Kayla. I'm 23. Originally I was not.
And Kayla looks like a turtle. I mean, she called this young brother a turtle. Hold on for a minute.
The subtext of that is that she's always right.
I saw you hesitate. That's why I had to ask. So if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Kayla. I'm 23. Originally I was not gonna pop my balloon because I know a lot of them popped it because he was.
And here it goes, guys. Here it goes, guys. Sassy. Here it goes, guys. He's sassy. Here it goes.
I guess arrogant. But to me, I like my man that's not gonna sit in every girl's face and compliment them. So I didn't find that offensive to me. But when they started what was going on, I'm very.
Now, AbaNPreach didn't say this woman was disrespectful, and that wasn't called for. But he's focused. They're only focusing on this man's behavior. Make it make sense.
Like I don't want to say I'm argumentative, but I don't want my man to argue back with me because then I feel like it's gonna always be a problem. That was the only reason why I popped my balloon.
I don't want my man to argue back with me. Yuck. What is that? What I hate about that?
Because it means that there's no ground. It kind of, the subtext of that is that she's always right. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want someone to argue with you. Sometimes you're going to be wrong. We're going to have to discuss it. The final maybe is a bad choice of words, but there's a difference between arguing and bickering. That was bickering. That was not arguing. Okay? Like the argument, whenever you have an argument and you go back and forth.
It sounds like she's toxic and she don't want somebody to be on her level. That's what it sounds like to me.
I think it's a bad choice of words. So
I mean, I can only go based on what you said.
Yeah.
But then with me, you kind of got a little bit catty with me. You a little sassy just a little bit.
Listen to what she said. He's sassy because he matched their energy. So he's supposed to let women just talk down to him, disrespect him. And I don't agree with what men say, not saying anything. Evil abounds when good men stand back and do nothing. Evil abounds when good men stand back and do nothing. Men should have a right to speak up and say what they believe in and be respected. It's like women should be respected.
And since you want to come at everybody over here, I'm going to get at you too. You kind of look like a Ninja Turtle. You're not that cute. You're not that cute.
Look at her disrespecting him. That wasn't called for. But he could say she looked like a caterpillar. Or he could say she looked like a snail. But you want to disrespect him. That's called bug breaking. She was trying to bug break him publicly because he didn't kiss the ring or bow down to the gynocracy.
Whoa! Hey, yo! Yo, you know what's crazy? What? She said it and I seen it. She said it and I seen it. Okay.
She's like, since you're doing that, I'm going to roast you. Whoa! He kind of looked like a Ninja Turtle, though.
Mikey?
Mm-hmm. Cowabunga dude.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, definitely. She said Ninja Turtle. I
bet he smells like this.
She said that shit and it killed me.
Yeah, well.
Hey, go for it, girl.
And you know what? That's why black men can't have a broader conversation because once again, we don't unify enough. You could have gave a fair and balanced critique, but like the people say, they appear, I say appear, to be slaves to the audience because this woman was trying to shame him and she wanted him to kiss the ring.
You need to relax. You stocky as hell. And I was trying to be respectful, but like you was really coming out like I didn't like it.
So cocky black men can't have standards. That's what it is in a nutshell. Cocky black men or confident black men can't have standards. As long as they are bound down and kissing the ring, then it's not a problem. But confident black men can't have standards. They want somebody to kiss the ring, guys. Because once again, confident black men can't have standards.
I'm from the South and I can handle like.
They must have edited out whatever he said to her.
Yes, because he didn't go at her.
But he did. It just.
And we didn't see it. Yeah, there was a cut. There was a cut.
Relax. But I don't want my man to argue back with me because then I feel like it's gonna always be a problem. That was the only reason why I popped my balloon because I was just like, dang. But then with me, you guys.
See? Yay! So they cut some shit out.
They cut some shit out.
I want to hear what this motherfucker said for her to react like this.
I didn't like it. I'm from the South and I can handle like a lot of criticism and stuff like that. But the way you was coming, you just ain't like you got it all like that. And I guarantee you probably got a roommate at home and it's just not giving anymore.
Yeah. Well, let me say this, Queen. I'm a licensed plumber.
So I do real estate and property management.
I live downtown. I live downtown.
Shout out to Gregory Scotland for the 10. He said, it is very clear now that men are going to have to separate. We have men that will either simp this way or let disrespectful women on their panel and undermines men's messages, allowing takeover. Yes, and many do it, Gregory. Many do it at a high level. Many do it at a caustic level. And it's all to the women that are calling them sassy. Make it make sense, Gregory. Sassy women calling masculine men sassy, but they're sassy. So can you imagine a world that men created where the women disrespect the men and call them sassy? Make it make sense.
I stay by myself, Queen.
This is a switch bike.
This is a switch bike.
You know, and you're not even qualified to be even dealing with me.
You say everybody not qualified.
That line is getting kind of old.
You definitely not. You know, if anything, it was one of these two. I wasn't even looking your way. You ain't my type. If I seen, that's fine. That is totally fine.
Okay.
But one thing about me, I could pull 100,000 on the bank. Can you do the same?
Get this
you can't do that.
But look at her trying to bug break him publicly. And then still the women that really wanted him standing firm in their femininity, they let the sisterhood corral them into nonsense.
When she said, "Get this man out of here," she's like,
you know, like, you can always tell somebody's a loser based on how they react to a rejection.
Yes.
If you gotta floss your money.
Yes.
How's he a loser, AbaNPreach? How's this man a loser? How's he a loser? This man is not a loser. But see, I don't like dudes like that. This brother's clearly not a loser. But the man's still firm, and I would have done the same thing. But see, American men are so damn soft and weak. That's why women don't respect many of them. Shout out to the good brothers that stand firm like this young brother, Aaron Sloan.
Call your place after a girl says no, you already lost.
Yes.
And it's like that old adage says, right? When you see fight with a pig, to everyone who's looking outside, it looks like two pigs fighting in the mud.
And the pig enjoys it.
Right? It's just, you never gonna win this in the actual grand scheme of things. You're just doing it because your ego a little bit busted. Is it good entertainment? Absolutely. But would I recommend anybody do this? Absolutely not. You don't gain anything for this. You look less attractive to all the women looking, and for good reason, because you look like you're a softie. And secondly, you just embarrass yourself on a public platform for the world to see.
All right, if we can have your name and age.
Hi, I'm Esther. I'm 23.
Okay, and Esther, you still have your balloon and popped. Why so?
Are you done?
Oh, yeah, I'm done with the rest of that,
Okay.
you know,
Okay, now we can talk, right?
in a real way.
Okay. What do you look for? What are you looking for?
A woman, like I said, that's not going to be promiscuous, a woman that's going to be consistent, a woman that has a career and things going for herself, because I had the same thing going for myself, you know, as well. I don't need a woman to give me her money or anything. I'm just looking for devotion and some loyalty, that's all. And some.
What's wrong with a man saying he wants devotion and loyalty? And it's obvious this young man has been through trauma. He could be looking for the love that he never got from his mother. So he could have some abandonment issues or attachment issues. Not saying he does, but he could. But see, pain and needs drive behavior. And I'm gonna try to get this young brother on the show. I would love to interview him because I think he can add a lot of clarity to why men go through what's called schema afflictions and affection deprivation. Because Mr. Aaron Sloan appears to be going through affection deprivation.
Honesty.
Do you believe in God?
Oh, certainly. Yes, ma'am. I'm a God-fearing man. I practice monotheism. You know, I won't tell you what I identify as religion-wise, but we can get to that at a later date and time, you know, if you choose to leave here with me.
Okay. Do you know the Bible says that love is kind?
Yes, certainly.
Or are you here to just insult
I'm trying to create a family, you know, that's what I aspire to do.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
You're good? Sure, we're good. Oh, okay. All right. Any questions for her?
No, not at all.
Oh. Do you have any kids?
No, I don't.
Do you want kids?
I do. You
How old
gonna
are
give
you
me
again?
some? Huh?
How old are you?
35. This nigga looks like he's 35 going on 45.
Yes.
What's your age?
He looks like, yeah.
What age?
He is 33.
Look at the damn shaming language from these goofballs. That man don't look a day near 35 going on 45. But see, ageism, calling men out of their names, Ninja Turtles, and affirming it, men like AbaNPreach, sadly, are the reason why. Alban had an issue. They gave a fair and balanced approach. Give a fair and balanced approach. But what they did, in my opinion, was unconscious simping. Or maybe it was conscious simping, where they sacrifice important masculine principles.
I think you should come for 38.
What are you?
I'm 29.
Yeah! Oh my God! Oh my God! Good Lord, good Lord.
Yeah.
And you know, it's bad enough to see it from the women, but like I said, some of you damn simps will throw you on the bus, guys, and make your life a living hell because they could have gave a fair and balanced approach. But like some of the other brothers said earlier, when you're a slave to your audience, you got to do what your audience tells you to do. That's unfortunate. I understand it's content creation, you got to do your thing, but give a fair and balanced approach. And this is clearly not a fair and balanced approch.
Damn, I look younger than you. I'm 42.
Apparently, black do crack. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. Apparently, black do crack. Oh my God.
How many ways you got?
Hey, you know what? We invested.
We invested.
We invested. If that man's 28, then baby, I'm proud. I'm proud, and I'm gonna stay proud.
God damn.
All love is love, all age is age.
This is a new look right here.
Yeah. Okay. So this is definitely gonna get pictured out of context.
I don't give a fuck. Relax. Take it easy. I don't give a shit.
That is crazy. Man said
29. Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You know, we might as well get up out of here right now.
Because they were trying to lambast a young brother and call him alphabet.
Well, let's step on over here. Let's step out real quick for me.
I never thought that the shirt I wore to school one spring morning would lead to a federal lawsuit, but the reaction from the
Okay.
All these girls are looking at her like, honey.
No, what are you doing?
They probably singing that Tony Braxton song to themselves. He wasn't man enough for me.
No, what are you doing? Why you gotta be with a dusty? That's what they thinking.
All right, so it seems like there's a little vibe here. So is it gonna be a yes for you for him?
God says save souls, so yeah.
Oh,
Hell yes. For me.
okay, we got a match. All right, let me take.
And see, guys that struggle with affection deprivation, if you don't know what your worth is, you can compromise your standards because you haven't properly healed or you never got the proper healing from your mother. Those are called abandonment and attachment issues.
This mic.
They clapping like stupid.
See you on the first 48.
All this clout chasing got me fired from work. Man, I really love plumbing and I'm good at it, and they got that taken from me. Y'all are sick. They called the company 500 X's?
Times.
Oh, 500 times. My bad. 500 times and are messing up business. Well, you're a certified plumber. You don't need to work for a company. You can work for yourself.
Hey, listen, man.
But that's not the point of him working for himself, sir. The point is they mess this man's livelihood up. You don't have no empathy or remorse, and you're not calling these damn wicked women out for trying to destroy men. You know how many men have been destroyed from phone calls? I was destroyed. I lost my job as a teacher one time in the county that I'm in, and I had to, leave. Not because I did anything wrong, but because of crap like this.
You a fool for having a job and going on what is essentially the modern day version of national television and making a fool out of yourself. Yeah, it's going to reflect on your job. You can't go to places and be incredibly disrespectful because guess what? When people find out you work at a specific spot, they're like, I don't want to do business with that person. I'm not advocating that people are going to call on that shit, but I'm like,
he was incredibly disrespectful, but this man has cognitive dissonance and he can't see how those women were disrespectful too. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. What's good for me is not good for thee. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, guys. The hypocrisy is overwhelming. The hypocrisy, guys, is overwhelming. What's good for me is not good for thee. And it's okay to lambast this man and say, you can't go on a job disrespecting the company, but you don't think it's inappropriate to disrespect that man and call him a Ninja Turtle. But that's okay. This is pathetic, man. Some of these cats are poor excuses for men, in my opinion. Horrible excuses for men, in my opinion.
Bro, even when I was 21 and I was working at JP Morgan, I knew I couldn't do certain things online. I used to hide my Facebook. I used to hide certain things about myself so people couldn't find it. Like,
they tell you.
I just don't understand people who got real professional jobs, go on these platforms, act crazy disrespectful and flame with people where it goes viral, very likely to, and then get shocked when it has real world repercussions. But hey, I'm not saying I advocate for this man getting fired. I'm just saying I'm not surprised. This is things that happen all the time and they've been happening for a long time. So you would think today, with all the information people have, they would think before losing their job. But it's like that TikTok doctor, the plastic surgeon who was too busy filming TikToks and lost her medical license. Like,
yes.
Yeah. Jesus, it's like a professional code of conduct. Folks gonna protect their business interest.
Well, we don't know what their policy is. We don't know what their policy is, and that's easier said than done. He didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. He wasn't being mad disrespectful. He was just defending his position.
What it comes down to. Anything else?
No.
Good Lord, being that disrespectful is just unnecessary.
Just work on your ego. It was ego driven. God damn, bro.
I didn't mind the first two, but after that, do too much, bro.
That's just to give me an int. The definitely. Why definitely?
He's not arguing for sport. He's arguing out of need. That's what's really just like some dudes banter with ladies because they think it's funny. That's fine. Like, you can see it. This dude really butthurt about these rejections, feeling the need to get back at everyone who said no. It just makes you seem more small than you actually are, and that's tough for a dude that big. That's all.
Ninja Turtle killed me though.
And you know what? You want to get back at these ladies? Just acting different. That's always gonna be the number one thing you can do.
Nah, you shot the cowabunga, dude.
And basically, black men got to kiss the ring. And you guys will be a fool to listen to men like this. They don't give a balanced approach.
100%.
I mean,
and then when you
because if you're going to give an approach, give a balanced approach. Because this is definitely not no damn balanced approach. Not a balanced approach at all. And once again, guys, simping ain't easy because these brothers were simping, and they are the simps of the...
Congratulations to AbaNPreach for being the Simps of the Week. How can men lambast a man that was clearly attacked by women with their narcissistic traits and not give a balanced approach for the plumber? Here's why simping ain't easy.
All right, guys, so this is a live stream with MTR. Shout out to MTR. He got what they call the turtle guy on stream, and we're going to stop and pause periodically. And, shout out to MCR for getting this interview.
Hey, what's going on? You just did me a favor by tapping in with the one and only Aaron, the world famous plumber. Now, I'm not world famous, but I'm trying to be.
My G, first off, salute to you, for answering, the call when I hit you up. At first, it took you a little second to get a hold of my message. I'm like, damn, do I got hairy arms or some shit? Like, why this guy not, he's not responding to me?
My DMs was flooded like crazy. I had to find, but I seen it the first time that you messaged it because I recognized your name, but it was just got too flooded. But everybody, hey, shout out to everybody that tagged you and they told me that you wanted to reach out to me. So that was a blessing in disguise as well. Thank y'all.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I think that it's very needed. And I said it multiple times within the video that I wanted to have a conversation with you to ensure that we can continue on building. And a lot more sinister things have happened since then, and we're going to get into it. And let me say this for everybody that's watching right now, as well as the audience. Aaron told me before we got started, he said, you can ask anything. And y'all already know, I'm going to ask the good as well as the bad. We're going to hold his feet to the fire, but we want the answers. Right, Aaron?
Yep.
He said, bring it on.
Come on. Let's get this out the way.
Yeah, let's get it out the way. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was up in the DM talking about I was not qualified. So before we get started, and I know you referred to yourself as Aaron before. You have a multitude of names, right? Yeah. I've heard Aaron, I've heard Weapon X, I heard the balloon pop guy. There's some trolls on the internet calling you Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles. What do you want to be known and go by?
Weapon X. I like that name that they gave me.
Is that your fitness name?
No, it's not my fitness name, but as fit overall, just call me Aaron. But if you want to joke or something, you see me out, hey, Weapon X, because you seen my comedy skit that I did, then it's fine with me. I wouldn't be upset at all.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that up here in a quick second as well. So
shout out to my brother, my man Leon, number 8. He said after learning about your skill set and content from some brothers in the space, I decided to come my way and show support. OG, I wish that I knew you sooner, man. I appreciate that, man. That's so kind of you, brother. Thank you for your kindness, brother Leon. Thank you, man. I'm honored by that, man. I really appreciate that. Being a content worker is a lot of work. It's a lot of energy. I appreciate that, brother Leon. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it for your kindness, brother.
Also, too, this is you going viral on that Pop the Balloon. It's your first foray with being on the internet itself, right? So within that being stated, there's no information about you. So there's a lot of people that are saying a lot of different things, making up information. So I wanted to start at the beginning first. Can you talk through your home life? What was that like? Were you in a 2-parent household, brothers and sisters? You could just describe that.
I'm from Stockton, California. Is where I was born, and I grew up in Sacramento, California. Throughout my childhood, I grew up in a single-parent household. My mother raised us. It was 5. I'm the oldest. I have 3 sisters.
And this young brother is dealing with some over-identification, guys. This young brother is dealing with some over-identification.
And 1 brother. And my childhood, it was rough, honestly. By the grace of God, I was fortunate enough to have 2 grandparents. And if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be alive to this day. My grandfather was a computer engineer for NASA, and he was well off, and he took very good care of us. My mother, she was addicted to crystal methamphetamine, probably since I was, 1 year old. And shout out to my mom.
Is your mom in your life currently?
Yes. Shout out to my mom because trying not to get emotional.
Yeah, I was looking at your shirt too. Your mom didn't raise no dummy.
Yeah, shout out to mom. My mom been clean for 2 years now, and I'm very proud of my mom for that.
And what about your father?
My father, he's not really in my life. I don't really speak with him very much, but he played a role later on as I got older, and we can shed a little more light on that. Yeah, my father came into my life as I got older. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Sorry about that, you guys. It's been crazy. So many people just calling me, texting me, blowing up my phone. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But sorry. Yeah, I grew up in Stockton, Sacramento, man. I bounced all around.
So you were on your father. So how's your father's role been within your life?
My father, he came around when I was older, but I had a different perception of life due to what my mother installed in me about him. My father tried to be active in my life. He did everything within the court system.
And God, that goes back to what I was saying. You remember what I told you guys? Boys tend to over-identify with their mothers. And thank God this young man got his life turned around. He probably was banging at one point. But remember I told you that Man was created by his mother. And Man either hates masculine men or might hate women, or Man might hate structure and order. And I promise you, this young man at one point was turbulent because he was trying to find himself, because young boys look for structure and hierarchy and leadership. And it happens all the time, guys. Women create the boys and the men that they complain about. And this young man probably because he never got the proper nurturing, probably went to doing things that he regretted it.
And my mother put nothing but negativity inside of me and made me believe, you know, my father was a negative person. So as I got older, when I got older,
is there a do not disturb on the phone, brother?
Yeah. Turn my phone off, please. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you good, bro.
Where was I at?
You were talking about that your mother was poisoning you in your mind towards your father. We lost him? Looks like we lost him. Let's give him a second to log back on. Let me try to hit him up on Instagram. Let's see if he's... All right. I guess in the meantime, let me acknowledge some of these super chats that came in. Shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher, with a $10 super chat starting off the stream, showing support for work only you can do. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate the love, the support, and the respect so much. If you guys don't know, Maggie, the substitute teacher, is a fantastic content creator, teaching you how to cook, essentially. She's the femininity person up on YouTube as well. All right. So, Maggie, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate the $10 super chat. Let me also give thanks to Michael with the $2 super chat. It's time to get active. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your support. Shout out to Introvert Maxing with the what's that, pound? What's this? Euro? Yeah, that's a euro. Shout out, is it? No, that's a pound. Shout out for the £5 super chat. Thank you so much, Introvert Maxing. I appreciate that. Shout out to Long Walker's Life, who just became a member for 8 months. Thank you, MTR, for a new live. As for this, he should have acted better. I don't agree with him being fired, though. Listen, as soon as he gets back up into the chat, trust me, we're going to go through some of the things within his reaction, and as well as there's been a lot of hoopla, including women in his past life that have come out to try to expose him. All right. It just so happens that these women have platforms, and within these platforms already have a dedicated audience. And within these dedicated audiences, it's clear that they have a bias and a hate towards men. All right. And they're utilizing these platforms in order to exact revenge on the bad relationships that they've had within their life. Oh, I think he's back. Let me just acknowledge the last couple of super chats, and we're going to keep on getting it popping with the brother. Let me also say thank you to Alma978 with a $2 super chat. I got you. We'll be doing a live on this. Shout out, mama. I appreciate you. Shout out to Juicy Work Shaw with a $10 super sticker. I appreciate the support, my G. Shout out to Aaron Lauren, member for 22 months. That's almost 2 years of this bitch. Shout out to Aaron Lauren. I appreciate you, mama. Shout out to that boy Will, yet another content creator. Shout out, my G, for the $20 super chat. Love, respect, and support. Shout out to MTR and Weapon X. Shout out, my brother. Make sure you do reaction content on this, all right? Shout out to Luke Ainsley with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Luke. I appreciate that. Shout out to Wes All with the $2.79 Canuck buck. Thank you. Shout out to Madden Gamer for the $5 super chat. What up, MTR? And last but not least, at least for right now, shout out to Moreno with a CHF, wherever that's from. All right, we got them worldwide up in here. All right, my brother, you back. You got your phone on Do Not Disturb now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So I believe that we left off on just speaking about your father, impact within your life after. So I guess at what point in your life did you realize that your mother had poisoned your mind against your father in order, I guess, to just not allow you to have contact with him?
I honestly didn't realize it until I became a man. And
shout out to Inspired True Broadcast with that $2 super sticker. And he said, there it is, alienation. Yeah, it is alienation. Once again, they create the men. Look at the show, guys, I did called Talking About Man. Who created Man and who's responsible? The mothers did it. Mother created Man. And a lot of these boys over-identification due to a process or ego defense mechanism called introjection. So they created Man, sadly.
Probably when I was like 20, in my 20s, maybe or so, I used to despise my father, because he would try to instill discipline in me. My father taught me how to build a house. I was a carpenter's apprentice when I was like 15, and my father did everything he could to instill discipline in me because he has a similar story to mine, and he knew, exactly how the story would play out and did everything he could to keep me out of the lifestyle, but I was too infatuated with it, and I made my own decisions to be a part of this lifestyle.
Okay. And by this lifestyle, you were gang affiliated at a certain point, and you had a criminal history, which we're going to get into as well. So,
yes, sir.
So within that being said, so what I'm hearing is, you had some siblings. Your father was not.
And once again, guys, it happens, and my heart goes up because I used to work with kids like this young brother. And what happens when you try to attack them or hold deal with them, especially because they over-identify, they're gonna always say on my mom.
Yeah, put chain on the walls on my mom. They be broken balls. Kill some on my mom. Bro, they back me look like that's on my monkey. That's on my monkey. That's on my monkey.
That's arrested development, guys. And the gang is a way for boys to find their identity many times. He grew up with his grandparents, but they probably weren't enough. But thank God he's turned his life around. But I used to work with cats just like this, man. Used to work with them in training school in my younger years.
In your life, but and sadly was manipulated out of your life. You know what's crazy is that I do mentorship with men behind scenes, and what I always tell men on the channel is that no matter what your relationship with is with your father, you should always attempt to reach out to him, because you just never know their side of the story, or the things that have been implanted within your mind unbeknownst to you that is not allowing you to have a strong relationship with him. But would you say, would that be the leading contributing factor, your father not being there, or you having a strong relationship with him, as to how you got off the rails and fell down into a life of criminality?
My mother's drug addiction is what played a big part in it. My grandmother and my grandfather, they were well off, and they were my mother's enablers. So they would always give my mother large quantities of money, and instead of taking care of her responsibilities, she would squander it on whatever she wanted to do. And I started going to jail, juvenile hall, probably, or getting placed in handcuffs probably about 8 or 9 years old. I was what I call
children that are broken like that, they can exhibit mal-opposition defiant disorder. They can exhibit mal-oppositional defiant disorder.
What's known as a crash dummy. I was hanging out with guys that were 16, 17 years old, dropped out of high school. My mother, when my grandparents would get upset with my mother, they would cut off her money, and we would suffer. We wouldn't have. I remember if my sisters are watching this.
And I work with kids like this all the time, guys. The greatest chance of a child being in a state of disrepair is gang affiliation, the environment, the things they struggle with, the things that they're going through. These are all indicators that a child could be in a state of disrepair. These are all indicators. Children that don't have strong fathers and strong homes and strong mothers are at greater risk of recidivism, being diagnosed with mental illness, and also being in poverty. And shout out to this young man for his resilience, but he still needs therapy, in my opinion. This young man still needs a competent therapist to help him unpack, because he's a good kid. He's a good, not kid, but he's a good young man. Young enough to be my son, but he's still got some things to unpack, I promise you.
They'll calm it down and let them know this is not no joke. It was times where it was just a jar of peanut butter inside of the refrigerator, and we don't have nothing to eat. My sisters is crying, and their father is not around. My dad's not around. No man is stepping up to the plate. Well, I had to be the man at a young age. I had to protect my sisters. So the older guys, they taught me how to burglarize homes. It started off with, small burglaries. And as I got older, I progressed to more serious crimes, I would say.
And did you finish high school?
I did not finish high school.
And guys, that's called adultification. But see, the slanders are coming, try to find stuff on this young man to justify them disrespecting him. My heart goes out to him, because there's a correlation between devious crime and also him having to be a spouse, or be a what's called adultification. Adultification is what this young man had to be, and it's sad and it's unfortunate.
I was hustling graduation. I had a lot of money, so I really didn't care for school, but I ended up getting my GED, and I got my GED in prison, and I got it out on the streets, and ended up going to college for plumbing for a while. And I was just having discrepancies, maintaining employment and going to college at the same time. A lot of employers, they want you on the job site, as much as possible. They don't care about furthering your skills.
Right. Okay. Right. So, so you began small into this lifestyle of, gang life, criminality, and I guess, how did it progress? So you first started to robbing, and how did it progress into? Are you willing to go into your criminal history? How long you've been locked up?
Yeah, I did 5 years in prison. What they were saying is pretty accurate. The final boss, that's how I was in prison. No nonsense type of guy. Hey, if you was incarcerated with me, and we're not trying to shine any light on, incarceration, unless we're talking about decreasing the recidivism rates, then we can talk about that. But when I was in prison, I was no nonsense. I want to fight everybody. I was mad at the world, but honestly, going to prison was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because now I'm a firm believer that isolation, it enhances your elevation, because I was isolated from the world while everybody was doing COVID, I was doing COVID ×2 on a plantation, a dangerous plantation at that. So in prison, my first 3 years, you'll see, we'll show the write-ups and stuff. I didn't have any understanding. I was mad at the world. I didn't have any family support whatsoever. I didn't have any contact with the outside world. So all I wanted to do was work out and, engage in a good old fisticuff. But it wasn't until I had read a book, and they were talking about Geronimo Pratt, and I had read about COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program J. Edgar Hoover started, used to suppress Black organizations. Now, once I read about that, and I'm reading about tribalism and about how the government infiltrated these organizations, these gangs didn't originally start off as gangs. They were just trying to protect their communities. So the government infiltrated, these organizations and turned them against each other. The Bloods and Crips were united at one point in time. So I began to ponder at night, like, man, I'm over here attacking these men, and the oppressors are the ones that infiltrated a establishment that was promoting a just cause and turned it into something evil. I was like, man, how could I contribute to this moving forward, knowing this? And I would still interact with, some of those individuals, but in my heart, deep down, I knew, I was like, man, this isn't me. It's not. I knew I had a greater purpose. I knew God had a calling on my life. I just didn't know for what, and when I was gangbanging, I was trying to find myself, and I heard ample stories.
That's powerful, man. I respect this young brother. I definitely would love to interview him. I can resonate with this young man because when I told you guys who created Man, who created Man basically was a child dealing with arrested development. He had to grow up before his time. And so I resonate a lot with this young man.
My father, when he went through a similar situation. So I'm trying to live up to his name. And I really didn't have to do that.
Right. So, and I'm going to ask this in a very crude way. Did you get shot in the face before jail or after jail?
I got shot in the face before I went to jail. I ended up going to jail probably 6 or 7 months after I got shot. Now,
can you talk about that story? How you got shot in the face?
Yeah, I can talk about it. I won't get too in depth, but I will say I probably deserved it, honestly. And the individual, I'm grateful because in the end, it showed God's true strength. Now, if you've seen before, when I uploaded the pictures, I was about 140 pounds, maybe 130, 120 pounds. I got shot 6 times. I got shot twice in my knee, 3 times in my thigh, right? They told me I wasn't never going to walk again. I was unable to go to physical therapy. I did not do no physical therapy whatsoever because I got arrested. I went to jail. In the prison system, the healthcare is inferior. They give you the worst healthcare. If you have any problem, they're just going to.
Shout out to Gregory Scotland. Gregory Scotland is correct. Notice how he and other men will own up to their issues, but look at how many women will not write. And that's an excellent point, Gary. Gregory, because the woman that was complicit in that scam or scheme that she got caught up in, the brick lady, she never took ownership for her behavior. She never took ownership for her behavior, but this young man did. But they were trying to find ways to undermine him and say he was a fraud and a scam. And just listening to him, this is a real guy, man. He's a good brother. And I would love to talk to him, man. I'm going to do everything in my power to talk to him, but he's a good brother. He's a real good brother. I got nothing but respect for him.
That's like ibuprofen. That's the cure for everything when you're in bondage. So I began to work out and, strengthen myself. But when I got shot, I did a lot of things to people out of anger because even back then, I had money and I had haters. And I didn't have somebody older, guiding me, telling me, hey, son, they're hating on you because you have nice cars. You have this. I didn't know. I would always let my emotions supersede my intelligence. And I'm a cancer, so I've been working on that. And now it's like I'm aware of all my flaws and I can see them vividly. Yeah. It's just a matter of breaking those old bad habits.
Yeah, old bad habits. And here's the thing is, it sounds as if, a lot of your childhood was in a single parent household. Majority, either be your mother. Did you say it was your grandparents that majority raised you?
Yes, it was. I bounced all around.
You bounced around.
Shout out to Pastor Gooden. He's in Sacramento, California, of the Bethel and Grace Church and God in Christ. Pastor Gooden is a father figure. I call him my dad. A situation.
Yeah, shout out to that good brother. That good brother is a good man. That's a good young man. And once again, guys, I used to work with Crips and Bloods. I used to work with kids that were incarcerated. I did 7 years with the Department of Juvenile Justice. I worked with with at-risk kids, and all the correlations are the same. But they were trying to slander this man. These silly whores were trying to slander this young man, and they were trying to lambast him. And I'm proud of this young man because, see, you can walk in freedom. You can walk in on liberty. When you own your issues. Remember, guys, unhealthy shame keeps you in bondage, but healthy shame liberates you. This young man was ashamed about what he did, but he's liberated because he owned it, and now he's reclaiming his life. But when Rolla the scammer was doing what she was doing, no one tried to undercover her or underpin her until black men did the research, because these women have a disdain for masculine black men.
Transpired where I was homeless and I was in 9th grade. I had nowhere to go. My family, I was just a troublemaker. So I understand my family, they didn't want me around because I caused mischief everywhere I go. You can send me to New York, I would get into some type of gang, something.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So
yeah. So was jail the first time that you felt like you had structure in your life?
yeah. Now jail, I wish the government would take these little 18-year-old kids, these bang bang shoot 'em up tough guys, and put them in prison on the main line yard. You know, put them in prison and let them sit there for at least 2 months when they turn 18. If they've been in some type of trouble before, so you can see what you're signing up for. Because man, it broke my heart to see these young 18, 19, 20-year-old kids got 50 years and they sitting in prison playing basketball every day, laughing like it's a game, like and talking about, you know, what they did. I got tired of hearing the same stories reiterated over and over. It's just putting negative energy into the universe. And the whole time I indulged in that lifestyle, you know, yeah, I might have had a quick come up or I might have had a good night this night, but at the end, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Yeah. I'm still suffering consequences to this day from actions I did over 10 years ago.
Right. You know, because, you know, everything's public, right? You do things out in the public, it's going to become public information if you get arrested. And part of that is now being used against you. And we're going to go deep down into it as well. And, you know, I do have some receipts that you showed me as well. Maybe I can bring up some of this as well. You can kind of speak to it.
Yeah.
Let me try to get this up on the screen. Okay. While I'm getting this up on the screen, can you also describe this? What has been your relationship with women as you were coming up of age? Let's say during gang, you know, when you was more into your criminal mischief, you was a bad guy. Talk about the difference then versus the difference of being a licensed, you know, trying to be on a straight and narrow path, trying to do good, trying to be a humanitarian, getting your certification, get right. Just talk about the difference between the two.
Okay, so when I was, you know, actively gang banging, you know, present myself with my nickname and things of that nature, women loved me. I mean, I had an abundance of women. Anybody that knows me that'll tell you, you know, I was Mr. Promiscuous. Yeah. And that's why I advocate against it, because I see the damage that it does to individuals. But yeah, I had all the women in the world when I was gang banging. Now, so when I got out of prison, before I went to prison, right, I was not in shape. I could not converse with you about anything other than gang banging or some entertainment foolishness. Right. Now you can put me in a room with anybody, I can converse. I know a little something about, you know, something. Yeah. And I'm not going to be, you know, I'm not going to reside in a state of oblivion. That's for certain. But as I was a plumber, you know, when I became a plumber, I got out, I'm doing the right thing. Now I'm well aware of how a man should conduct himself. Yeah. I'm well aware of, you know, things I want to do in the community. I have goals. Wait, let me rewind. Back to gangbanging. I was skinny. I couldn't converse. I didn't have a job. All I did was, you know, negativity. All the women wanted me. You had way too much. You had way too many women. Way too many options. Yes, way too many options. Yes, right. Mr. Ninja Turtle. Believe it or not. So, when I got out and started trying to do the right thing, because in prison, you know, like I said, my first 3 years, I was a knucklehead. I didn't care. I want to fight everybody, the biggest guy. It doesn't matter. But after I started educating myself and building my relationship with God and, you know, becoming well aware of what life is really about, you know, life and plumbing are similar. That is why I love plumbing so much. Now, listen, plumbing is a perpetual cycle of developing and learning new skills, right? A lot of plumbers can agree with me. They've been plumbers for 20 years and don't have their license. You know, me, I've been involved in the trade for 5 years and got my license. You know, that's one of my biggest life accomplishments, because that journeyman test is not easy at all. So I passed the test, you know, and I'm getting into these relationships. And while I was in prison, I had a chance to reflect on my conduct before. You know, every day for the 5 years, I thought about every single conversation I had throughout my life. Every person I met, I asked myself, you know, how could I have done that better? How could I have talked? You know, how could you know, I started asking myself, and I started attacking myself like, hey, you know, you've been doing this is stupid. You know, I started reality checking myself so I could self-improve. And so I started dating these girls, right? Now I have this body, you know, I'm muscular. I'm meeting women that have never seen a guy with muscles like this before. So it's the spirit of lust is manifest right there. And I indulge in the relationship because I don't want to be lonely. You know, that's been my problem for the most part. And these women have gotten so good with manipulation and deception. I promise you, these women can hide. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start teaching you fellas how they hide stuff on these iPhones. How these women, we're gonna shed light on stuff. I'm gonna show you how these women were hiding stuff, how they were manipulating me, how they were having me believe that we were gonna get married. You know, that's what my true intentions. And are we gonna go through some of those receipts right today? Yeah, we're gonna go through the receipts. Okay. This is my thing with promiscuous women. I always give them the option in the beginning, in the very beginning. So there's, you know, you have to start the relationship the same way you finish. So I let them know, hey, what do you aspire to do with me? Do you want to have an open relationship? Do you want to seek other men? If that's something that you want to do, that's fine, queen. Because in that case, you know, that's what you're going to do. The first use of queen disrespectfully. Respectfully, disrespectfully. Yeah, respectfully. Now, and let me ask you this, because I have my own thoughts and perceptions regarding this, what I'm about to ask you. What do you think it is about modern women today that you had so many when you was a gangbanger, but it's a lot harder when you're on a straight and narrow path? I want to hear from you. What do you think that comes from? What does that stem from? It's the clout, the image, you know, for whatever reason. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. It's because our country, look what they market. You know, they market rappers. And I'm not, man, I love music. I'm not, man, I used to rap myself, you know. They show stuff like this. They do not shed light on the trades. They do not show the plumber, the electrician, the HVAC guy. Now, it wasn't until, you know, why I got involved in plumbing, I did what my dad was teaching me, despite what my dad, other than what my dad was teaching me, I met an individual that had his own company, and we did a job. It took us 3 days, and he made like $42,000. And I was like, wow. I was like, if you can make this, this is better than drug money. This only took 3 days.
They better put some respect on y'all names. And that's what I've always said as well, is that if you take the average salary of a drug dealer, and I'm not talking about on the far ends of the scale, right? The Pablo Escobars and shit like that. But if you take the average salary and you can compare it to the average salary of a man that went and got a 4-year STEM degree in school, or a man that is doing what you're doing, becoming a licensed plumber, more often than not, you're going to have a lot more money going the straight and narrow path 10 times out of 10 times. And it's so ridiculous to me because I think of it as it's an issue within our media, right? Young boys can't dream what they cannot see. If you cannot see this and there's not images of you of people that do that, then why do you think that you can do it? Which is why it's so important for platforms such as YouTube, because it's decentralized in nature. We're not connected to the mainstream, which is incentivized to show the most ratchet, the most debaucherous, the most ignorant forms of us as what we can aspire up to. And we have to begin to take over communication within our platforms to show something else, right? Like even between me and you having a conversation, and I'm not lived your lifestyle, never wanted to live your lifestyle, but I had a father that was strong as shit that didn't even allow me to do even half of the shit that you had within your life, but he ensured that I didn't because he understood that lifestyle as well, and he knew that there was a better path for me, especially within the Black community specifically. Now it's a men's issue, but especially a Black men's issue with an illegitimacy rate of 70% plus. So we're walking around with all of these young men that had your old lifestyle of this purely reactionary, crash out, dummy, just doing whatever they can do, just right in the moment. The thing is that they get validated from the women. They get validated from the culture. They get validated from the music. They get validated from what's on TV. But taking over media, what we show and what we put in front of men's faces, just people's faces in general, because it impacts the women as well. Because you got to look at the women and say, well, why are you so attracted to you previously? What is that? Why does that exist? Why? And do you know who Kevin Samuels is?
Yes.
It's one of the conversations that me and Kevin would go back and forth and spar about time and time again before he passed. God rest his soul. The man was a genius. But we talked about the importance of media and changing the narrative. Why is it not cool to be an AC repairman? Why is it not cool to be a plumber? Why are these things disrespected? Why? Why is it not cool to like anime? It's a little bit different now. But why is it not cool? Why is it not natural? Why is it not normal?
And why don't we don't admonish one another? You know, that's one thing in society that's wrong. Parents they let their children do whatever they desire to do, and that's not how it should be. You know, my father and my mother, they gave me at some point in time, just was like, hey, just do whatever. You know, you can't give up on these kids. These kids are innocent and blameless, and they're going to imitate what they see. And like you said, if they're not seeing these things, these prosperous people in these trades, then of course they're not going to want to do it. They're going to want to do what they see is prospering, and that's the negative. It is, but you know, we got to be able to start it one upload at a time. Now, brother, tell me what I'm looking at right here. So right there, you're looking at my disciplinary infractions in prison from a fake Instagram page. All those disciplinary actions are, you know, disobeying a direct order and stuff. Everything I did on there, for sure I did. I was guilty of. So this is why you were in prison. Yes, that was while I was in prison. Now that's the 3-year time period where I was, you know, still trying to find myself. Let me also ask you a question. Were you deaf, like hard of hearing in prison? Yes, I had a bullet lodged in my ear, and I had a discharge. Literally, I had green fluids. Man, somebody please, Red Rock Correctional Center, get in these comments. I had green fluid. It looked like boogers, and it used to stink too, honestly. And that's why I used to get into a lot of fights too, because guys used to play and startle me, like come up behind me and rod, and I'll get frightened and stuff because I can't hear, and I'll be, man, we got to fight now immediately. Like, why are you playing? And it was a very depressing time in my life, you know, because I love music. I could not hear music. It was a lot of times I couldn't hear my own tone in my voice, and that's when I started to that's when I started, you know, getting very depressed. And I got out, and by the grace of God, I was able to have surgery and have my hearing restored. Wow! So you couldn't have surgery for the 3 years or 5? Was it 3 or 5 years that you were locked up? It was 5 years. They did try to give me surgery, but it was inferior care. They were telling me I was going to lose like, you know, 20% function in my face, and I was like, no way, I'll just wait. Okay, so let's go through some of this as well. So it says, so I'm looking at here back from 2017. So while you were in prison, so disrupting an institution count, resisting or disobeying a verbal written order. Disrupting an institution count and are being put out of place. So this is just like your infraction record while you were locked up. How did they get? I guess it's public record. Yes, it is. Okay. So you appealed 2 of them. Yes. And outcome decision was upheld. So of the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 of them you appealed. Like what happened in those situations? Just in those situations, the disrupting count or being out of place, that's me sneaking into another dorm to go fight somebody. You're not supposed to be going inside other units. And I must have been upset about something and went to somebody's dorm and, you know, disobeying a direct order and things of that nature. I I didn't know anything about respect. That's what I was saying. I didn't know anything about respect until I went to prison and how you should respect all men. And I didn't listen. I didn't have any respect for anybody. I didn't care about life. I didn't care about anything, really.
Okay. Anything else? Any other color you want to add on this?
No, that's pretty much it. You see, I got my GED. I did impact crime class for victims, and I did some reentry classes as well to alleviate the matter. And that's towards the end when I left this facility.
So it looks like something between 2018 and 2019 began to become true to you, and you began to change somewhere around that time, because 2017, 2018, it looks like you was popping off.
Yes, I did not care.
Okay. All right. And I think it's good for you to be able to go over this, because people will post things like this and they'll say, see, he ain't shit. Told you he ain't shit. That GoFundMe, he's just stealing from the people. He ain't shit. Look at him.
How it says internal risk is well high. That's just because my points is high. You know, every write-up you might get 6 points. This one get 22 points, and it boosts you up and it send you to another instead of maximum security, you know, super max when your points go up. So yeah.
Okay. Let me also pop this on the screen as well. What am I looking at here?
Okay, so this right here, I did this in 2014 or 2013 maybe. This was affecting my job. These warrants have popped up. For whatever reason, there was some disconnect, and I was released from prison, and I shouldn't have been released from prison because I had these warrants on me. So I'm out here, I'm conducting plumbing services, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, and I was speeding after I had finished a service call, and the police pulled me over, and he was like, hey, you got a warrant in Oklahoma. And I was like, what? And I was like, no way. So I ended up going out there to Oklahoma. I turned myself in. I did 1 day in jail. I owed the courts, like, where it says violation of probation and all that. Originally, those were my charges. I did get caught with a firearm, paraphernalia, and all of that stuff. And I was granted probation, and I had to pay a big fine. And, you know, after I got out of prison, it was basically give us our money and we'll leave you alone. I paid it and I'm done. You know, I don't have any active warrants, nobody looking for me or anything.
Okay. So let's go through some of the charges here. So possession of a controlled substance, use of a firearm while committing a felony. Damn. And you were above 18 when this happened.
Yeah, I was probably like 19 maybe.
Okay. Possession of paraphernalia, failure to aid in enforcing terms, conditions of probation, failure to aid in enforcing terms and conditions of probation again. Okay. Okay. Is this all of one thing that like at one time all of this happened?
Yeah, I was in a house. My house had got raided. It was on the news too. That's public record as well. You guys want to go ahead and look that up?
Your house got raided.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that come from someone telling? Like, how did they know to come to your house?
A situation transpired, which led to their investigation, and that's all I can say.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to spark anything else from you. You got enough bullshit to deal with currently. All right. So
no, I don't want. I can't incriminate anybody else. You know. So.
Yeah. No, I get it, my G. I get it, my G. Is there anything else that you want to say about this? And again, the reason why I wanted to bring these up is that these were posted publicly in an attempt to color your character in some way. Is there anything else that you want to say about your disciplinary record or anything else about this arrest record?
No, nothing about that. You know, it's in the past. Let's talk about more positive. But no, let's address this. And then after I address this, my answer to everything is talk to me about something positive. I gave you the truth. Talk to me about something positive.
Okay. I'm with you, my G. Is there anything else that was public in regards to your history that you wanted to go over? Or is this it?
Not to my knowledge. That should be it.
Okay.
Or actually,
okay, go ahead.
Actually, there is another mugshot of me. I was 18 and I was on the news too for a robbery. And I don't know if I could talk about it or not. I'm not gonna do that. But it was me and another individual. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. But before we move on, because now I think at this part of the show, I think it's high time to actually get into what happened during the pop the balloon. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through maybe some key points within it. And I wanted to get your reaction as you were walking down that line and the balloons were getting popped. And then I want to kind of go into, you know, what has been the outlast after that. Actually, as I look through this right here and I pull up the different things, can you talk about like what your life is like right now? Again, this all is happening as of the video going viral. Now all of a sudden you've gone from being unknown to a bunch of people hitting you up and a bunch of people hating on you. And then you got fired. Can you just talk through what your life is like right now?
Okay, life now is, I'm paranoid, you know, with all this attention. I don't know who's out to hurt me and who's not. You know, I've been receiving a multitude of threats. These promiscuous women have been posting, you know, my father's address. They've been posting my address. Well, they don't have my exact address, but you know, they're putting stuff together. They're posting my siblings. It's just been threat after threat after threat.
How are you receiving these threats? Is it on email? Is it on
DMs?
DMs?
They're sending them and putting them in the comments in the most part about my DMs. But as I read them, you know, I know it's somebody that knows me because a lot of it's like personal. So it started creeping me out, and I'm like, man, I got to get out of here. I can't sleep at my place anymore. You know.
So you think it's someone from your past life?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's somebody from my past life. But I don't know if all these women are. From what it seems, from what I've investigated and figured out, these women are all in cahoots together. They're all using their platforms to reach out, who's dealt with him before, who's dealt with him before, who's dealt with him before. And oh man, I forgot to send you this screenshot. I even have a screenshot from a girl, right? I seen one time over the weekend, and never seen her again. And she's like, hey, yeah, you're talking about that 100K. Yeah, I'm coming for that. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. The whole world here is 100K.
They lost their mind.
Man, they lost their minds. Do you know?
We still got time. You can send me those receipts, my brother.
Yeah.
we got time.
Oh,
we got
man,
time. You understand?
I'm gonna have to dig on that one.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, matter of fact, I do got it. Damn, they got my phone out there. My other phone. Hey, I'm gonna send them to you though. I'm definitely gonna send them to you. But yeah, women, they haven't been flooding my DMs. At first when the balloon popped off, it was, they was hitting me up a little bit. But after, these allegations and stuff started coming out, I'm noticing people unfollowing me and not talking to me. It's been a crazy experience, for them to paint this picture of me. But if I paint a picture of them, who they truly are, then I'm emotional. I'm sassy. I'm all of these things for trying to defend myself. But you see what's going on. These women caused me to lose my job, and now I'm in a predicament where plumbing is the only skill I have. I don't know how to do. I might know how to do a little bit of roofing, and a little bit, but nothing's gonna pay like plumbing. And they took that from me because now I'm in a catch-22. I understand where these employers are at, because if we hire you, now the whole world knows, you're a convicted felon, you're an ex-gang member, and all of these things. They know that. So if a customer says, hey, I don't want that guy in my house, and this contractor has $40,000 worth of business to do with this man, he's gonna let me go. He can find another plumber. He can make another plumber.
Right. And
it's unfortunate too, because I experienced, so much racism within the trade as well. And I want to shed light on the racism that I've experienced in the trade, because honestly, being targeted now, at first, the couple nights that made me cry, it hurt, because a lot of stuff that y'all said was really hurtful, and I'm dealing with some real serious stuff. But I had to just tell myself, like, man, head up, man, you just gonna have to ride the storm. But
and here's the thing, and in regards to the racism as it refers to your places of business, and we talked about this a little bit behind scene. I think that you should chill on that right now. I think there's much more pressing things to talk through right now, because, and what did I say? I said, go get a lawyer to talk about these different things, because we're talking about being let go too early, right? Being let go due to public backlash. You gotta have a conversation regarding severance. You gotta have a conversation regarding what you were owed. And if you were unjustly let go, right? And I don't know what your contract is. I don't know if you're a contractor, W-9. I'm not sure. I think you need to get in touch with a lawyer and have them be your representative towards that, so they can come at these establishments the correct way. But I think in terms of painting a picture of who you are based off of your past and not allowing you to get jobs in the future, I think we could do some immediate questions and answers in order to get your side of the story out there utilizing my platform. But
yes. Oh, another thing we discussed briefly over the phone, the position of this individual with the company that we cannot let that be known.
Yeah. Okay. So within that being said, brother, I know you saw it a second ago. I wanted to go through some of the reaction, but let me also ask you a question. What do you say off the jump to anybody out there that says that you're sassy? What is your response to them?
You're not qualified, baby.
Hello.
Hey, if I'm sassy, if that's what y'all think, so be it. Any woman thinks I'm sassy, she's not for me.
Yeah.
Period. And it's crazy that women should not even be allowed to say that to a man. Like, do you know how disrespectful that is?
So disrespectful.
Calling a man sassy. And would you honestly, truly do that to my face? Would you really? Are you that type of person? Are you that disrespectful?
Well, here's the thing, my G. Here's the thing. A woman would absolutely say it to your face, but you got to understand that women they're not under a level of threat against, generally. They don't feel threatened.
Shout out to my man, Revelator, the spirit of various. Glad to substitute. Man, I appreciate that, brother. Guys, I'm going to end this in a few minutes. Y'all can finish looking at it on MTR. This is an excellent interview. I'm going to go sit and listen to it. I got to get ready to go somewhere tomorrow. But guys, I'm glad y'all tuned in. And this brother, I got nothing but respect for him, man. I would definitely love to have him on my show at some point. But I appreciate it. I really do. Appreciate it.
And if they can say things like that to your face, another man would. Like another man know. Men know if you call another man sassy to your face, there's gonna be fisticuffs. But tell me, how many times have you been outside of a club looking at an establishment and you see a 5'1" woman with a damn finger up in a 6' man's face as he's just standing there getting finger jacked in his goddamn face? A guy can't do that to a guy, my G. So here's the thing. I think a lot of women would say that to you, to me. I don't care how tough and how rough, but a lot of them are under this guise that, men are not supposed to defend themselves. And I don't believe that men should be hitting women unless their life is on the line, unless I need to defend or protect myself from whatever this woman has, a weapon, a force multiplier, something in and around her vicinity. But a lot of them walk in a fairy tale of nonviolence. Yes. And that's often that nonviolence is afforded to them by men. Shout out to feminism. Somehow feminism has completely mixed that up in their mind where they don't understand that. But it is what it is. But all right. So within that, I want to switch to this reaction right here. But before we get into that, let me acknowledge some of the super chats that have been coming in. Because I want to make sure that I answer any questions. And guys, if you have super chats, I'm going to pause at different portions in order to go through your particular super chat. And if you have a question for Aaron, let's get active. Shout out to Dante Bryan with a $10 super chat. These pros ain't qualified. Salute, my G. Salute, Dante. Shout out to Tame Chaos with a $20 super chat. Shout out to MTR, giving his brother a platform to tell his story. My bad, brother. Look like I took you off screen. To tell his story is actually low-key, personal, and professional mentorship. Yeah, listen, I said at the beginning. Now, bro, have you seen both of my reactions to regarding your situation?
Yes, I've seen them.
Okay, yeah, and I said multiple times within there, like, yo, it'd be dope to just chop it up with his brother, just to have a conversation. And I think our conversation right now is absolutely proving that. Shout out to Astronomical with a $2 super chat. Can I ask X what parts of the show were edited? So when we go through the live reaction, we'll go through those specific questions. Shout out to Avian Hawkins with the $5 super chat. Shout out to you, big bro, and big ups to Weapon X for holding it down while going through these trials and tribulations. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. Shit, come on now.
Appreciate that. God bless.
Shout out to Kalo K with a $20 super chat. How to bring up a Puerto Rican side a little bit for that one. Shout out to Aaron, wishing you the best. MTR, thank you for years of great content. Do you do one-on-one consulting coaching? Yeah. So I think in my description, I have a Calendly. If not, just hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you the Calendly invite, or if you want a personalized one-on-one. But go to, there's a link in it. Shout out to the mods. I think you guys have still been posting it. Go to my new self-development community as well. School.com/MTArmy. Mods, please put it down to the chat right now. Please go there. I've created a space where you can come up and build with a brotherhood. We have 4 main pillars that we're going to be focusing on: financial fitness, enhancing your masculinity, finding your purpose in life, as well as health and wellness. We're going to be focused on these things. You understand? It's very important for men to have online education space.
All right, guys. This is a great interview on MTR's channel. If you guys want to finish watching it on his channel, go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream in a minute. Thank you for everybody that showed love. And guys, I just want to do this show as a response to, this nonsense about sassiness. And anytime men speak up, it's called sassy. So guys, we're going to end it here. Hopefully at some point I'll get this young man. I would love to interview him and we can have a live panel at some point. And guys, we're going to end it here. I appreciate that once again, Revelator. Revelator, that's good. I noticed that weren't that many trolls on the Roger Report lady. I think messages getting out to fortify the space, thanks to Marcus. No doubt, man. I appreciate it. And thank you once again to Gregory Scollins. He's the #1 sponsor. So, guys, we're going to go do these cash apps real quick. Shout out to Do the Fire Podcast for $20. Shout out to Top Gun being a member for 7 months. Shout out to Gregory Scollins for the 20. The International Quiet Storm for the 5. Gregory Scollins once again for the 10. Brother Leon for the 8. Inspired True Podcast for the 2. Gregory Scotland for the 5. Revelated the Spirit of Variance for the 2 again. MC Recovered for the 2. He said she's a real clout chaser. KC Smoke Alarm check. No doubt. Appreciate it. I appreciate that everybody show love, guys. And we're going to end it here. We're going to definitely end it here. Go finish looking at it on MTR. I think many of the people look at it on MTR's channel. I'm going to go finish watching the interview as well. And guys, don't be a simp. Don't be a simp sucker. And don't minimize your dignity as a man for the sake of placating. I believe in fair and true balance, but I don't believe in disrespect. So, guys, thank you once again, and we're going to end it here. Thank you.
Congratulations to AbaNPreach for being the Simps of the Week. How can men lambast a man that was clearly attacked by women with their narcissistic traits and not give a balanced approach for the plumber? Here's why simping ain't easy.
That's no better if we just let it be.
Give the people what they want.
Nigga ass, loser ass nigga.
Your video with comments about a
He's a
certain
loser.
other female.
Just to let you niggas know, we don't need y'all. We want y'all, but we don't need you.
20 years later.
Our black men, we want all y'all back. Because we love you, we see you, kings. And most importantly, we need you. And most importantly, we need you.
And most importantly, we need you.
You can't.
If you a that's for the streets.
You can't delete the ski. You can't delete the ski.
I know a who used to suck dick every mother night.
You can't.
fate is before you. Choose wisely.